Support for this podcast comes from the Central Valley Journalism Collaborative, connecting communities with the resources, infrastructure, and networks to ensure a vibrant local free press.
From KVPR in Fresno, this is Central Valley Daily. It's Tuesday, September 23rd. I'm Elizabeth Arkalian. In North Fresno, one busy intersection is notorious for being one of the most dangerous places for drivers in the city.
We were hearing a lot of accidents, a lot of sirens, a lot of problems that were going, screeching, braking, crashes behind our fence. About every week, we'd catch something happening.
Coming up, we'll uncover the community's frustration with the streets and why it's gained international attention online. But first, these headlines. A former Sanger police officer was sentenced on Monday to 5 consecutive life terms. Federal prosecutors announced the sentencing for J. Deshaun Torrance. He was convicted earlier this year of assaulting 4 women he encountered during his official duties as a police officer. One included kidnapping a 21-year-old and sexually assaulting her. The Tulare County Public Defender's Office will pay $200,000 to settle a sexual harassment lawsuit. The state's Civil Rights Department announced on Monday the settlement resolves an employee complaint of inappropriate workplace conduct by a direct supervisor. The complaint was filed in 2024. In addition to the payment, the Public Defender's Office will engage in training and audit staff understanding around its harassment policies. A committee overseeing the renewal of Fresno County's Measure C sales tax is facing new turmoil. KVPR's Crescencio Rodriguez Delgado reports on new accusations against the committee.
A group known as Guardians of Growth is alleging members of the Measure C Renewal Committee are violating open meeting laws. Specifically, the group alleges committee members concealed records about a subcommittee within the renewal effort, and the group argues the committee violated the open meeting law known as the Brown Act. Guardians of Growth had requested information about this subcommittee's roster and meeting minutes, but was told no such records existed. But the group says it obtained information showing those records do exist, and they argue they should have been more transparent for the public. The group filed a complaint with the Fresno County District Attorney's Public Integrity Unit. The complaint alleges the Fresno Council of Government and the Fresno County Transportation Authority engaged in a, quote, campaign of concealment. For KVPR News, I'm Crescencio Rodriguez Delgado.
The Fresno County Department of Public Health has confirmed the county's first West Nile virus-related death of 2025. The health department did not say whether the death occurred in an adult or a child. West Nile virus spreads to humans through mosquito bites. Mosquitoes become infected after biting birds that carry the virus. Statewide, there have been 43 human cases this year, including 2 other deaths. Residents are urged to use EPA-registered insect repellent, check window screens, and eliminate standing water to reduce the risk of West Nile virus.
Support for Central Valley Daily comes from Body 20 in Fresno's Fig Garden Village, offering full-body electromuscle stimulation training sessions. It's a high-tech, time-efficient way to help preserve and rebuild lean muscle. Each 20-minute one-on-one session is guided by a certified coach using FDA-cleared technology. Body 20 accepts health savings account cards. More information available by searching the Fig Garden location at body20.com.
And now to our main story. Every time we get in our car, we are betting that we can get to our destination safely. But for drivers passing through one North Fresno intersection, they are increasingly taking a chance that feels too risky. KVPR's Samantha Rangel recently started digging into community frustration over a notorious intersection gaining fame online.
Dan Wells lives in North Fresno, on a quiet cul-de-sac full of manicured lawns and sparkling pools, but a tall brick wall separates his backyard from an intersection where tens of thousands of cars pass through each day.
We were hearing a lot of accidents, a lot of sirens, a lot of problems that were going, screeching, braking, crashes behind our fence. About every week, we'd catch something happening.
In fact, people here are dying. For instance, in 2023, a young woman was killed when a tow truck driver ran a red light and slammed into her car. And on one corner, a handful of wooden crosses and brightly colored pinwheels honor lives lost here.
Wait.
Wells gave the intersection a dubious nickname.
Wait. Similar to the Russian roulette, we call it Friant roulette because it's a gamble every time you drive through this intersection.
He and his son decided to do something about what keeps happening at this intersection of Friant and Shepherd. They set up 2 cameras to record the accidents, and they share them on YouTube. In 3 years, they've posted nearly 100 videos.
We started figuring out maybe we could be helpful in helping the neighborhood be a little safer.
They also post a live stream running 24/7. They have 14,000 subscribers. Many tune in to watch for accidents.
So he gets a lot of information from people all over the world who became spotters. Hey, look at hour 1:58 in the morning, there was a such and such. Wait.
Wells diligently analyzes all accidents, but still,
there is no particular one item that's creating the problem. If you ask some people, they'll say, oh, people need to stay off their cell phones and be more careful.
He also thinks the city has a responsibility to make it safer. So does Warren Pabugian. Pabugian is a Fresno attorney who's represented families of people who've been injured and killed at the intersection.
Currently, I got one pending, and I've probably handled 4 or 5 in the past, just me, in the last 2 years.
He says the city could retime the light signals, add more police enforcement at the intersection, and better educate drivers.
I think the city could do more, and they have the resources and the ability, and they need to do more. And motorists have got to pay attention and drive slower and pay more attention at that intersection.
Recently, a city leader did do something.
I'm so glad you all are here, joining us at Valley Oak. I'm Nick.
City Council member Nick Richardson ran a community meeting last week. He presented a handful of options for improving the intersection, like reducing lanes, adding a median, or installing different stoplights.
You understand that there is probably some work still to be done along Friant.
Dozens of people showed up. Many nodded their heads as he spoke, but a handful stood up to say other changes are needed. And Wells spoke out to say he wasn't satisfied.
So in my opinion, a lot of time has been spent on options for that particular situation. There really isn't, in my mind, the most important one.
Sitting down with KVPR, Richardson points out some work has already been done. For instance, the city has improved signs and signals at the intersection, including a no turn on red sign and some reflectors. But he knows more could be done.
Safety is one of those things like transparency, that you're never done working toward it. It's like going to the gym. You keep going because you're always working, striving for a safer community.
Plus, he said town hall meetings like the one last week are part of his commitment to the community.
It's one of my priorities in this term to have some significant infrastructural changes to Friant and Shepherd to make it just over-the-top safe for everybody.
Richardson says he will work with his council colleagues and the community to keep attention on this intersection. It's something watchful neighbors are also taking up as their mission, because it could literally mean life and death. For KVPR News, I'm Samantha Rangel.
And Samantha joins me now to discuss this reporting a little more. Hey, Sam.
Hi, Liz.
Okay, I really enjoyed your in-depth coverage of this because I myself have driven through this intersection quite a few times, and it's always confused me why this specific spot is just such an accident hotspot. Yeah. And it sounds like from your reporting, we still don't have like a really definitive answer as to why so many crashes happen there.
Yeah, there's certainly way too many factors.
In your report, you spoke with Fresno City Council member Nick Richardson, and you mentioned some of the things they've already done to try to improve safety at this specific intersection. So what else did he say he would like to see done to improve safety?
I mean, at the meeting, Nick talks about wanting to change the glass on the lights so that only the driver in a certain lane can see that light that pertains to that lane. He talks about removing the concrete wall and replacing it with something else. Not quite sure what yet, but just to get rid of that blind corner turning right. He also mentions the idea of adding these rumble strips before and after the intersection, to alert drivers who might be on their phones, though he said that could, of course, bring lots of noise for those neighbors whose houses back up to that intersection.
That's a good point because those rumble strips kind of alert you that a stop is coming.
Yes.
And if you see the footage that you talk about in your feature, it's basically people flying through these stoplights as if they don't know a stop is coming. But to your point, I don't know if the neighbors would like that. You talk about how there were mixed reactions to the presented options for the future of that intersection. So what were some of the concerns that people at the town hall meeting had?
They had all kinds. Honestly, some of them were pretty similar, so I'm going to just I'm thinking of some of the best ones that I remember that stuck out to me was the green right turn signal light on Friant northbound. They say is confusing for drivers because you think you're on your phone, you see green in the corner of your peripheral vision, and you think go, but it's only for the right turn lane. So some people start to just go just based on that color. So they want to get rid of that light, maybe change it into a yellow. And then, of course, the visibility of the street light is limited because on that brick wall, it's so tall, but there's these even taller trees that are just hanging right where those streetlights are, and it's causing a blind spot. And then, of course, the accidents that Dan talks about are related to the northbound traffic. Him and a lot of others at the meeting expressed concern for that particular part of the intersection because you're going up and then there's 3 lanes coming down at you. So there's just 3 possible accidents waiting to happen if drivers aren't careful.
And besides this Friant and Shepherd intersection we're discussing, did you find out if any other streets in Fresno have a similar issue of frequent crashes?
Yeah, in 2024, the Fresno Bee polled readers about the most dangerous intersections in the Fresno area, and the Friant and Shepherd, of course, came in second, but that was actually second to South Chestnut and Central Avenues, I believe. And then I know another cross street with similar issues is Blackstone and Dakota Avenue. But yes, Friant intersection is seen consistently high in ranking in these reports. Of course, the wide lanes, the high speeds makes it risky. And then all kinds of law firms like Jacoby and Myers and Friedman Law rank this intersection, the Friant intersection, as one of the most dangerous in Fresno County.
KVPR reporter Samantha Rangel, thank you for this reporting.
Thank you, Liz.
And that is today's show. Do you have an interview idea for the podcast? We would love to hear from you. Just email us at podcast@kvpr.org. Today's episode was produced by Samantha Rangel, Jonathan Linden, and KVPR, with support from the Central Valley Journalism Collaborative. I'm Elizabeth Arkalian. You can find the latest local news anytime at kvpr.org.
It's rare to find a podcast that can actually change your life. But when the show's called Life Kit, that's kind of the whole point. I'm Mariel Segarra. 3 times a week on the Life Kit podcast, we guide you through a topic we could all use help with, from personal development to healthy living to managing your dinero, with takeaways so you can start living what you learn right away. Escucha el Life Kit podcast from NPR.